It's Christmas, David. The sun peeked through the frost on the window. David sat up in bed and gave a giant yawn. He looked at the calendar on his wall. Today was the day he had been waiting for all year. It was Christmas Eve, and the house was filled with the smell of pine and cinnamon. David ran down the stairs as fast as his feet could go. In the living room stood the tallest, greenest tree he had ever seen. Boxes of shiny ornaments sat on the floor, waiting to be hung. David reached for a big red ball, but he had to be very careful. "Not yet, David," his mom, Ilara, said with a laugh. She was wearing her favorite festive apron. "Before we finish the tree, we have a very important job to do in the kitchen. The kitchen table is covered in flour, and the oven is warming up." David helped Ilara press star-shaped cutters into the soft dough. He accidentally got a smudge of white flour on his nose, which made Ilara giggle. Soon, the tray was full of cookies shaped like bells, trees, and tiny reindeer. While the cookies baked, David's dad, Julian, came into the room carrying a tangled mess of twinkling lights. "I think I need a master explorer to help me find the end of this glowing vine," Julian joked. David jumped up, ready for the challenge. Together, Julian and David wrapped the lights around the tree. When Julian flipped the switch, the room turned into a magical forest of gold and silver. David stood back and clapped his hands as the tiny bulbs pulsed like stars. David's older sister, Maris, was busy at the small craft table in the corner. She was snipping away at white paper. "Look, David," she said. "I'm making a blizzard indoors." She showed him how to fold the paper to make a perfect snowflake. As the moon rose high in the sky, it was time for the final tradition. David and Maris carefully placed a plate of the star-shaped cookies and a tall glass of cold milk on the mantel. "Do you think he'll like the ones with the extra sprinkles?" David whispered. David crawled into his bed, but his eyes wouldn't stay shut. He listened to the wind whistling outside and imagined he heard the faint sound of bells in the distance. He watched the shadows of the tree branches dance on his ceiling until, finally, he drifted off to sleep. "David, wake up! It's morning!" The sun was bright, and the ground outside was covered in a thick blanket of white snow. David bounded out of bed and flew down the hallway. The living room was transformed, with colorful packages piled high under the glowing tree. David found a small box with his name on it. Inside was a wooden whistle he had wanted for a long time. He blew a loud toot and then saw Maris looking at her own gifts. David realized he had one more gift to give, one he had made himself. Ilara and Julian sat on the sofa with mugs of steaming cocoa, watching their children play. The house was noisy and messy, but it was full of love. "Merry Christmas, David," Julian said softly. David hugged his new whistle and knew this was the best day ever.